The Switch January Report with your host, Redkwan. Hello, it's me, Redkwan, and you're watching the Nintendo Switch January 2020 report on Disney Channel. This is the show that I do every month where I talk about the announcements and games from the past month and games coming in the next month. And also there are a couple of other things, but if I mention them, you'll want to watch this video less than if I just didn't mention them at all. So there you go, pretend like it's just that stuff. Hello all 3,300 of you, I'm Redkwan, and welcome to the Switch January Report. So first off, what announcements did we get in December? Well, we got the December Indie World Showcase, in which many games were announced. I just don't know which ones, because I didn't particularly feel like watching it, and I just never got around to looking at what they talked about. Don't question my authority on this stuff, though, because I still have access to Nintendo's website, so I probably won't miss anything that happened. Also, we finally got a Nintendo Direct. In quotation marks, put that in quotation marks. So in this Nintendo Direct, in quotation marks, we got to see a theme park in Japan. I know it's coming to other parts of the world at some point too, and it did look pretty cool for that sort of thing, but I'm honestly not all that interested. So you're welcome for giving you all shorter lines. And that's probably about all for announcements, although as we discussed, I haven't really been paying that close of attention to any of this stuff, so probably don't take my word for it. Also, as a quick little thing I've noticed, Nintendo has started doing these things called the monthly rewind, and I just think that's a little bit suspicious. I mean, monthly report, monthly rewind. It isn't too difficult to put the pieces together here and find that the only logical conclusion is that Nintendo totally ripped me off and stole my brilliant idea. They saw my videos getting tens of views and they just couldn't help themselves. And no one has ever thought of doing a recap of things from the past month before. That was a totally original concept that they could not have thought of on their own. They stealed it. At least Arlo put a spin on it when he stole it from me by doing it every week. They didn't even have the courtesy to do that. So now, what about the games from December? Did we get anything cool? Well, we got Among Us and Funimation, so no. We did get Super Meat Boy Forever, though, which I would never play because it's a brutal 2D platformer which only exists because people have endless patience and skill, which I do not. But I respect it, you know? I'm glad it exists, I guess. But also, I would never play it because it would just make me mad, and it costs money. We're also getting another platformer called Shady Part of Me, where you play as both a shadow on a wall and a person in a room, which is a pretty cool idea. And then there's Freddy Spaghetti, where you're a strand of spaghetti with rope physics who flops around. I don't know exactly what the point of the game is, but based on this picture right here, I'm guessing that this piece of spaghetti, Freddy I take it, is either a police officer or is a criminal on the run from the police. I like to think he'd be a police officer, because that's pretty funny. Cube Life Island Survival is also coming to the Switch in December, which is weird. And not just because this game is weird, I mean, look at this character guy right here, but also because, like, when Cube Life Island Survival first came out on, like, the Wii U, there wasn't any Minecraft yet, so it was almost tempting to get it. But here, Minecraft has been out since 2017, and I don't see anybody buying this over Minecraft. But I don't know. I could be wrong, I guess. But I don't think so. Oh, and I should probably mention that there's this Bit Trip series thing that has like 6 games that came out on Christmas, and if you think that sounds a little fishy, you'd be right. Don't think I don't see what you're doing, Bit Trip, trying to stuff the eShop full of your games, so that when all the kids log onto the eShop with their gift cards on Christmas, all they see is the new releases, which is just Bit Trip this and Bit Trip that. I see right through your plan, pal. But it'll totally work, so I guess good thinking. And we probably also got the games I mentioned in the December report, but I can't look at any games before like December 10th because Nintendo changed their website so that if you look at games and order them by release date, you start in like 2011 and have to scroll through literally thousands of them to get to the present day. And I'm not that committed to this series. And what about the games in January? Well, the ones that stuck out to me are Verse, which looks like one of those weird walking around exploration-y games, you know what I'm talking about, but apparently it's actually a first-person shooter, according to its description, so what do I know? And there's Life of Fly, which is either a pun on Life of Pi or just a bad name. I'm not totally sure. And this one looks like a game that wouldn't really be one of those weird story exploration-y games, but it actually is. Pretty funny how that works out. Not really, but I'm starved for interesting commentary. To be honest though, this one doesn't seem like it really needs to be a game. You just slowly move between story markers and get a story, so it doesn't really have that much interesting in terms of gameplay, but whatever, I guess, if it sells. And then there's Charge Kid, which is a 2D platformer where you charge. It's really not that interesting, and I'm basically only including it because I thought it would be cooler than it is, but, you know, there you go. And that's about it for January. Well, now it's time for the awful segment, Pick the Pick. And here's the picture. Is this called Cool Truck Racing, Big Truck Racing, speed truck racing, or only Ram 1500 truck racing? The answer is speed truck racing, but the last one is also true, and not like the new ones either. That's like a 2010. Sheesh. And as for sales numbers, because I still do this for some reason, I think the Switch probably sold really well in December for both games and systems, and will sell much worse for both in January. You know, because of Christmas. This is some real insightful economic analysis, I know. This has concluded your Nintendo Switch January 2021 report. Well, I'm Redkwan. How do you think December went for the Switch, and how do you think January will be? Are you also upset that Nintendo switched up their website to make things more difficult? Probably not, because I think I'm the only one who actually uses that feature. We all know what's really going on, though. They want to stop me from making Switch Monthly reports so that they can get away with their Switch Monthly rewinds with no competition. Despicable. Just disgusting. Anyways, I'm Redkwan. Thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.